Hello and welcome to another wonderful episode of Eye on Port. This program is proudly brought to you by Serene Insurance, Ball Company Limited, the Ghana Revenue Authority, Meridian Port Services and Ghana Link, who are the operators of the Integrated Customs Management System. This program is also powered by the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority. So this week, the Board of Directors as well as the Harbour Masters of the Port Management Association of West and Central Africa held their 7th meeting in Tema. Let's take a listen.
Over 45 delegates made up of Board of Directors and Harbour Masters from various ports within the West and Central African sub-region during the week assembled in Tema, Ghana to exchange knowledge and deepen collaboration towards improved management of ports amid current industry trends. Under the auspices of the Ports Management Association of West and Central Africa, this year's 3-day meeting of Harbour Masters and Port Facility Security Officers Network was the 7th in the series. Discussions centered mainly on environmental sustainability, building resilience of ports in West and Central Africa, as well as safety and security issues. The President of PIMWOCA and Director General of the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority, Michael Lugoje, underscored the importance of collaboration to overcome industry challenges.
Even before resilience, the focus was on sustainability. Are we going to continue with time burning fossil fuels? The global space says no. Every single industry is looking forward to moving renewables, clean energy. That is still on the table, and resilience has come to our plate. So the challenges remain, but we are going to work together and ensure we are able to meet those challenges for the betterment of our own countries.
Board Chairman of GPHA, Isaac OHSE, in a speech read on his behalf, urged the various delegates to share experiences of issues related to their functions for the furtherance of ports and the maritime industry.
The Harbour Masters are also expected during their deliberations to share their experience on issues related to their functions, cooperation agreements between ports and with national and regional bodies to improve safety and security and protection of the maritime environment. These, ladies and gentlemen, are indeed very important matters that require complete and unfettered attention, as they are the pivot around which smooth operations of member ports will revolve.
The Secretary General of PIMWOCA, Jean-Marie Kofi, urged Harbour Masters to play their roles in the fight against piracy in the Gulf of Guinea.
They are the one who drive the ships in our water. They are the one who knows who is coming in our water. You know that the port is also a border. So you have to be sure that everything we are doing is safe, is secure. So for this reason, they have to play the role to fight the piracy in our waters. And when they will fight the piracy in our waters, that means that the insurance cost will be low. Because of these challenges, the insurance cost is really higher for all the stakeholders and the port maritime affairs in our region.
At the MPS Terminal 3 in the port of Tema, the delegation was briefed on the efficient systems in place to drive international trade.
We wanted and envisaged that we will have once more, not automated, but rather digitalized process. And we said that drivers will come with their fingerprints to collect a container from us, and only their fingerprints. And from the onset, we have achieved that. Literally today, a truck driver drives into MPS only with his fingerprints. No paper in his hand, nothing.
Speaking on the sidelines of this particular event, the Director General of the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority, Michael Lugoje, made some projections. Let's take a listen.
The Director General of the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority is the latest to lament the consequences of the Russia-Ukraine war on international trade. According to the DG of GPHA, grain imports have taken a hit due to the reliance on that region for Ghana's grain requirements. Michael Lugoje, who is also the president of the Ports Management Association of West and Central Africa, was speaking on the sidelines of the meeting of Harbour Masters and FPSOs network in Tema, Ghana.
If I use just wheat as one of the key commodities that came, from the shippers themselves, the information they are giving to us is that represents between 20 to 25% of where they were importing from Ukraine and Russia, fertilizer. So if they now have to look for alternative sources of supply, and that is not a very easy thing. So they themselves have issues as to that. And if you are going to alternative sources, you probably will be importing at a higher cost, which will force you to reduce the quantities you would have ordinarily imported. So for now, we are anticipating that we might have drops to up to about 20-25% in those bulk cargoes that were coming from those regions. But we need to inch close to the year and really be able to measure the true numbers in terms of what is going to drop.
The GPHA boss also called for measures to be implemented to strengthen resilience of African ports and shipping industry in order to avoid future shocks that may emerge.
That resilient aspect of it is to say that now in every planning that you have, you need to always factor in the extreme opposite of what you expect. And that extreme opposite is that you could wake up the next morning and you can't even step into your office. How do you survive? And also all the other remote related arrangements like ICT and digitalization to ensure that if you can get out of your room, you can still work. If you can't get out of your room, you can still ensure your ports are operating and open to business.
So to help us discuss the topic of building resilient ports within the West and Central Africa to stimulate economic growth, Iron Port engaged the Harbour Master at the port of TAKORADI, as well as the Deputy Harbour Master in the port of Tema and the Secretary General of the Port Management Association of West and Central Africa. Let's take a listen.
Harbour Masters at Ghana's ports have praised regional efforts made that have led to the significant reduction of maritime crimes in the Gulf of Guinea. Speaking on Iron Port in the aftermath of the 7th meeting of Harbour Masters Network in Ghana, the Harbour Masters expressed satisfaction at a much safer Gulf of Guinea compared to a few years before.
The navies are doing a lot, let me be honest with you.
Right.
First quarter of last year, from IMB, piracy and hijacking.
That's International Maritime Bureau.
Yeah, within the region was 40. First quarter of this year, 0.
Wow.
So that tells you that a lot
It's being done.
is being done. And we need to congratulate our navies and our men who goes out there, risk their life to ensure that there is sanity in our waters.
According to Captain James Richmond Quayson, the Harbour Master at the port of TAKORADI, and Captain Daniel Korte, Deputy Harbour Master in charge of logistics at the port of Tema, this is a clear manifestation of coordinated efforts by key players at both the regional and international levels.
So the heads of states and the Gulf of Guinea Commission, they met in Yaoundé in 2013, June. And out of that meeting, there was a head of states declaration.
Right.
There was also a code of conduct. All was to fight this maritime insecurity, because that is where we have our livelihood.
Right.
Once ships are not comfortable, they will not call your ports.
Yeah.
If they don't call your ports, GPHA will not have money to pay me and him.
Yeah.
So we have to ensure that sanity prevails.
Yeah.
So out of this, there was an interregional coordination committee that was formed,
Right.
ICC. Throughout this ICC, ICAS had Chris Mayo, that is the Regional Maritime Center
Right.
for Coordinating Maritime Security.
Right.
Then we also had Chris Mac. Okay. Out of these two, we had 5 zones. 5 zones were formed. Maritime multinational coordinating centers were formed, okay, along the region, from Angola all the way to Cabo Verde, Senegal.
Right.
So ICC is on the top, and Chris Mao and Chris Mac are down, gathering on the local level, on the zonal level. So once there is an insecurity within the region, they coordinate. It is worth noting also that in March this year, from 7th to 19th, we had an exercise, Ubangami Express, which included all the navies within the sub-region.
Right.
They said the trickle-down effect of reduced maritime crimes is very important as the impact on the cost of doing business in the region.
As the president, I was very delighted when I shared that document. When that document was shared with me, they are doing a master job.
Okay.
When they protect the domain. So you can go there, but you are sure that when you come back, somebody will be waiting for you. You cannot run away from Lome Waters and come to Ghana Waters and go free. Yeah. Somebody will be waiting for you. Yeah. That is the best they've done so far. Right. And we pray that this thing will be sustained. When it's sustained, armed robbery at sea, IUU, unregulated, unreported fishing. Yeah. You know, our region abounds in marine resources, illegal bunkering. We have some multinationals who come and bunker the ships at sea. And when the fishing vessels, you know these giant fishing boats, some of them are very giant, they are factories. So they come into our waters, catch our fish is very natural fish, and can it and ship it to supermarkets. So when these things are all well policed, we've been calling for Coast Guard, but it was a little expensive for the sub-region. And then what Kismore and Christmas is doing is bravo, it's good. Right. It will protect the domain. And then when this is promulgated to IMO, and the ship owners know that the region is safe, the premium will go down, the insurance will go down, and then it will result in better life for the people ashore.
The Secretary General of the Ports Management Association of West and Central Africa, Jean-Marie Kofi, also touched on the contributions of the association to the strive for safer ports and waters during maritime trade.
So, PMOCA Secretariat, the strategy to address them is sometimes to continue to ensure that this issue are discussed at the level of PMOCA's technical committees. And as I said that you were in the Tema last week to discuss about that one. Harbour Masters Network discussed about that one also. It is really good. And you have to implement all the discussion, the recommendation will come from our discussion. And certain cooperation also with international structure, such as he said also, ECOWAS, ECAS, African Union, World Bank, and AU also to address them. Currently, rounding the IPQA is for digitalization, IPQA project, we promptly must or to internationally begin to digitalize their operation. We also conduct appropriate studies of some of these issues. Now we are working about sustainability port.
He also indicated the importance of digitalization to achieve the goals of ports in the sub-region.
If you take, for example, Ghana, the level of digitalization is well advanced compared to the port for Gambia, for example. So you have to teach them how they have to digitalize all those systems there. And if they have some of the difficulty, as I mentioned earlier, like power, all those ones, how to do it.
Captain James Richmond Quayson, who doubles as the president of the Harbour Masters Network of PMOCA, called for improved human resource development within the sub-region so far as marine operations are concerned.
The schools are training. We have a lot of manpower in our region, and that's why we were looking at where PMOCA will have a say, a unified say that ships that call our region should be encouraged to employ some of our cadets, our degree holder cadets, to have CTM and develop and build the capacity for their use. It is in their interest to have a competent harbour master who knows how to deploy marine resources in getting the job done.
Eye on Port returns after this break.
Every now and again, Goil makes good things happen. This time, Goil has introduced Super XP Ron 95, a higher grade fuel loaded with additives and yet sold at the same price as normal fuel. Goil Super XP Ron 95 enhances engine performance like never before. It maintains the engine by keeping it clean from carbon deposits. Goil Super XP Ron 95 is designed to burn slowly and thus improves fuel economy, making you save money after several kilometers. Goil Super XP Ron 95 gives you a smooth driving experience, that is, less vibrations. Fill up with Goil Super XP Ron 95. Now there's no need to pay more for any higher grade fuel. Goil has that sorted. Goil, good energy.
Electricity, pay your taxes. Our taxes, our future.
Because you see, without our taxes, we wouldn't have good roads, good schools, better hospitals, street lights, and other very important social amenities. When we pay our taxes, we give our children free and quality education. My money too small. Why should I pay my tax? Look, small. Salifo, it doesn't matter how small or big your business or income is. You still have to pay your taxes. The little taxes from each and every one of us, when put together, could give your community clean water or that deprived school with tables and chairs. Please pay your taxes. It is your responsibility. It is your civic duty. It is the law.
Impressive factory. If only I had listened to you, I wouldn't have been in this mess. That devastating fire virtually wiped out the whole factory and my warehouse.
Remember my misfortunes last year? Serene Insurance Asset All Risk Fire policy that I took were there to pay for my damaged stocks in the warehouse, and my machines that were affected by the floods have been replaced. My accident vehicle is back on the road thanks to Serene Insurance motor policy. Currently, my goods are on the high seas covered with their marine cargo insurance policy. I was just telling Ajima about Serene Insurance. Oh, Ajima, tell him more.
As a road contractor, I make sure I do my contractors all risk insurance for the project, and then workers' compensation for all the workers on site. With Serene Insurance, they will make sure they will cover your unknown tomorrow today.
Serene Insurance, a new face of insurance. Call us now.
MPS Terminal 3 is Africa's new state-of-the-art container terminal at Tema Port. For manufacturers, agro-processors and traders, the new port means business can be done faster. This infrastructure boost will improve Ghana's port handling capacity, connect more trading routes, and oil the engine of growth for the economy, creating greater opportunities across all sectors as Africa's markets merge and become the largest trading bloc globally. MPS, we connect, you thrive.
Welcome back from the break. Now news and activities happening within the ports and maritime industry next. The Minister of Transport, Kuku Siama, has revealed that the cabotage law, which aims at getting many Ghanaian seafarers employed, has been passed by Parliament. Speaking at the 2022 Day of the Seafarer, a Deputy Minister of Transport, Asan Tampoli, who spoke on behalf of the sector minister, said the law reserves 50% for all officers and 75% of all rating vessels operating within Ghana's maritime jurisdiction to Ghanaian seafarers.
I am happy to report that the Ghana Shipping Cabotage Regulations 2021 LI 2438 has been passed by Parliament. As we build the requisite capacity and increase our seafarer workforce, these percentages will be increased for the country's benefits. As a sector ministry, we shall continue to provide the necessary direction to ensure this is successful.
About 1.9 million people work as seafarers globally. Out of this number, Ghana currently has some 5,000 persons trained and registered as seafarers on their books, which constitutes about 0.25% of the global seafarer supply. Asan Tampoli stated that Ghana is in a unique position to increase a market share of the supply of seafarers as the country strives to ensure that the rights of Ghanaian seafarers are clearly defined as required in the Maritime Labour Convention.
And I'm extremely glad that the GMA has initiated steps to make seafaring a career of choice for our teeming youth. It is a timely policy as it will benefit both the individual and our country. For the individual, it is a career that provides a solid foundation for life and offers endless opportunities to learn and develop.
The Director General of the Ghana Maritime Authority, Thomas Alonsi, said the authority has licensed seafarer recruitment and placement service providers to ensure that the recruitment and placement of seafarers is well regulated.
It is also to protect seafarers from unscrupulous service providers and to protect their wages and other benefits under the Maritime Labour Convention. seafarer recruitment and placement providers who blatantly abuse the rights of seafarers, risks being sanctioned by not having their licenses renewed, among other measures.
Some youth in Ghana have undergone a training workshop that aims to position them for success under the Africa Continental Free Trade Area. The half-day workshop, organized by the International Trade Center through its YEA community and local partners, sought to highlight critical elements of the AfCFTA and how they can benefit from it. The program also helped create a space that will enable the youth share experiences and learn from each other in order to participate competitively within the free market. After consultants with Frontier Market Advisors, Dode Seido, took the participants through the basic principles of the free trade agreement.
We started as a continent trying to unite, trying to come together as one continent, but that was not successful. As the argument at the time when we became independent African states, the argument at the time was, why don't we focus on our individual countries and not necessarily have to come together because we just come out from colonial rule.
Executive Director of the AfCFTA Policy Network Group, Louis Yao Afo, noted the significance of youth for Africa's trading objectives.
You have 50% of the young people or the population of Africa making the youth. How can you leave such a people out of a big agreement like that in the first place? You have about 70% of trade in the informal sector, and women are the ones who are taking off. How can you leave them right from the beginning? So it has not been easy going back to them for them to have this as a protocol. Currently, it is not a protocol.
He revealed that the AfCFTA Secretariat is securing funds from the African Development Bank to create an internship program for the youth to develop their capacities so far as AfCFTA is concerned. The director of the Port of TAKORADI, Captain Ebenezer Afedzi, has advised shippers to deal with licensed or certified waste management companies to handle their waste in the port. According to him, GPHA has licensed certified waste management companies with the capacity to handle all types of waste in the marine environment. Hence, the need to ensure proper waste management, which is key to a healthy environment. Speaking at an event to mark the World Environment Week celebration, Captain Afedzi urged all stakeholders to be mindful of the waste they dispose into the sea and on land.
GPHA has licensed per regulation, we've licensed some companies to collect the waste. They are licensed and they have a better way, the approved way of disposing that waste. So I want to appeal to shipping agents here. Do not pass your waste from your vessels to private individuals or people who do not have the means to dispose of the waste very well.
The harbour master at the Port of TAKORADI, Captain James Richmond Quason, said, as an ISO certified port, there is the need to collaborate with stakeholders to achieve the goals set and maintain the successes chalked over the years and not to lose the port certification.
The OHSE has evolved over the years as a direct derivative of the ISO, okay? And as such, we are complying. So when you meet anybody who is trying to check you in the port, because we have to comply. But we have set the standards and we will not do anything negative to make sure our standards come down.
The port, as part of the week-long celebration, embarked on a cleanup exercise at New TAKORADI, the community which hosts the ports. Meanwhile, the Port of TAKORADI, as part of the week-long celebration, ended with a tree planting activity at the New TAKORADI Methodist Primary School. The tree planting was made possible through a collaboration with Forestry Commission, who provided the seedlings for the trees. Captain Ebenezer Afedzi, the director of ports, performed the symbolic first tree planting to commence the event. In all, over 100 trees were planted on that day.
Coming up next, we have some international ports and maritime news.
Members of the European Parliament have said that to incentivize industries to further reduce their emissions and invest in low-carbon technologies, the emissions trading system should be reformed and its scope enlarged. The ETS would now be extended to maritime transport as requested several times in the past. The ETS is part of the Fit for 55 in 2030 package, which is the EU's plan to reduce greenhouse gas emissions by at least 55% by 2030 compared to the 1990 levels, in line with the European climate law. The members of the European Parliament believe that the ETS is at the core of European climate policy and has triggered significant reductions in emissions, as putting a price on greenhouse gas emissions has given economic actors an incentive to reduce their emissions and invest in low carbon technologies. The Vietnamese Maritime Search and Rescue Coordination Center is reporting the successful rescue of 10 people from a coastal cargo ship that sank near the northern port of Hai Phong on June 22. Due to the nature of the area where the ship went down, the authorities are reporting that they have ordered the owners to come up with a salvage plan, as well as to deal with the oil aboard the vessel before it leaks. A 13-year-old general cargo ship, the Nam Thai 126, had loaded a cargo consisting of 1,800 tons of stone and bales in the southern port of Quy Nhon. According to reports, the vessel, which was 259 feet long and 1,983 deadweight tonnage, was operating with a crew of 8 and also 2 passengers from the owner's company.
Schedules of vessels in the port, those at Anchorage and those expected in the coming week, plus the Bank of Ghana exchange rates you need to know to clear your goods from the port next. We have your comments next.
Here are some comments. I am Sylvia from Tema. Can your guest confirm whether we have robust ports in Africa? Hi Sylvia. Captain Quayson says, speaking specifically about Ghana's ports, there have been operational and security systems put in place to ensure the ports are robust and efficient. This is also made possible by intranational and international collaborations with stakeholders. This one is from Maxwell in TAKORADI. He says, hello Iron Port. I want to know how one becomes a harbour master. I really admire their work. Hello Maxwell. The harbour master at the port of TAKORADI says, first, one must study and acquire a degree in nautical science at a marine school, for example, the Regional Maritime University, then acquire experience at sea before finding employment with the marine section of a port. At the marine section, one has to strive to rise through the ranks, and hopefully he or she is selected as the harbour master.
That's all for this week's episode of Eye on Port. Thank you for watching and thanks to the entire crew. Join us same time next week.